Welcome back to the By Design podcast. I'm your host, Ronnie Knuckles. We have had some fun guests on recently. I know that you guys have only heard the iCans interview, but we've had another great dumpster rental guest on. I'm excited to drop him next week, but we wanted to kind of come in and just drop an episode, just normal kind of conversation, kind of give a state of a business and share some lessons that we're currently learning and challenges that we're facing. We appreciate you guys tuning in each week. And if you have any questions about the show, any topics that you would like us to cover, please send those into questions@bydesignshow.com. Also, I have asked you guys to rate us and leave us a review. Those are super helpful for us. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcast or on Spotify, if you could just drop us a 5-star review if you enjoy the show, that would greatly help us grow the show. But with that said, man, it's just me and Tim today. We are just... hopefully not just shooting the breeze, hopefully bringing you some value, but we wanted to kind of pop in and kind of talk through some of the stuff that we've been facing as a business. So we are, I'm not sure if you heard, I think it was 2 episodes ago, when we came back from our break, we kind of talked not only through some of the current world events happening, but kind of where we're at as a business and what our goals are. And, Spearcrest Digital is in the season of growth right now. We are... grateful for everything that God has put in our lap, and we're trying to be good stewards of that. But as anything goes with business, even though you might be in a season of growth, there are always challenges, and we're experiencing that. So we went through we had a tough spring, and I talked about this on another episode, and I won't go down that rabbit hole. But we had a very rough kind of April, May. It was tough. Yeah, and we got through that. We've been kind of, working. We took several months and kind of worked on our systems and processes and, made sure that we were dialed, and not only dialed and delivering results, but also protected. And so now we're hitting the gas pedal really hard. And it seemed like things are going great. And then there's always like kind of this curveball that you don't expect. And right now that happens to do with our lease. And so I'll start the conversation with really kind of a lesson for business owners, especially those. I actually saw like 3 or 4 people on Facebook this week talking about how they got into their first building, their own dumpster rental businesses, maybe a couple of junk removal businesses as well. They finally got a building where they can, house things and store their cans and kind of actually run out of an office, it's another layer of business, right? It's like a new thing. It makes you feel a little bit more legitimate. Oh, yeah. But it comes with its own challenges. And so just because you're paying an X amount of dollars a month per lease, there's always if you want to make renovations, you got to make sure the landlord's cool with that. Even if they are cool with that, you're paying for those typically out of your own pocket. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure that you're in the right kind of lease. Are you in a triple net lease, or are you in a, kind of standard lease where the landlord is going to handle issues? And, dude, we've been here for 6 years. We've been in this building. Mm-hmm.
You want to give an estimate on how much money we put into this place?
I don't know for sure.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, man, it's got to be north of $50,000 this year, pretty much. Yeah, we just finished all these renovations in here in February.
Yeah, we're still tinkering with stuff here and there.
And there's more to tinker with. So
it's an interesting story, this building that we're in. So just to give you guys kind of an idea, we are in not like a great part of town, but not in a bad part of town. We're in an area of Louisville called Fern Creek, but we're not in. There's like a really good part of Fern Creek, and then not a terrible part, but we're in the not great part. All right. Just best way to put that. And so with that said, we got a pretty decent, we're kind of tucked back off the main road, and we got a pretty decent rate on this building. Now, where I am currently sitting, my junk removal guys used to park their Harley Davidsons here, like almost exactly where
literally
I'm at.
Like where your chair is.
Exactly.
So everyone knows.
If you're watching the video.
In the building, right where he's sitting.
Yeah, there's some walls to my left. These walls were not here. They would literally ride their motorcycles into where I'm sitting, park them here, work on them in here. And it was like that for several years because we didn't really need the building. We needed the lot.
And man, there was kind of something cool about that.
It was cool. You could come up here. You could pull your car in. You could work on your car.
Do some oil changes.
Yeah. It was what it needed to be.
Maybe you may or may not have sat on somebody's motorcycle when they weren't here.
Maybe I did.
Don't
maybe
know.
I didn't.
Who's to say?
We'll never know. That's the thing. Now, I will say we did on a junk removal job. We found that I don't know if you remember the spaceship. Remember the spaceship?
Oh yeah, the ride.
Yeah, like the kiddie ride.
Yeah,
but it was a spaceship.
Yeah,
we had that in here for a while. My kids used to love coming up in here, and even though it was completely broken, they would love getting in and like pretending they were blasting off to space in it.
And you remember they had there was the one game with all the bouncy balls in it.
Yep, we broke it. We broke it open and gave every kid a million bouncy balls. Yep.
That was insane.
So there were fun moments with the building being like that, but
yeah,
it came to a point with Spearcrest Digital once. I've told the story too. Once I jumped into it full time, we needed use of the building, so we needed some offices. For a year almost, Tim and I worked. There's a shop area where we were talking about doing oil changes and stuff. It's kind of literally like an automotive shop, and we set our desks up out there and worked out of that for like a year. And we were blacking out the ceilings and putting up walls and putting up trim and painting and, getting floors put down and just framing walls and just everything you could think of.
And having to clean the paint and dust off of our computers when we come in the next day.
Yeah. If you didn't cover your crap, you would come in the next day and there would be fine. And we breathed that in for about 6 months too, which was good. But there would be this fine, misty layer of paint on top of all your stuff. So that was a challenge. But we finally get in a good spot, right? Mostly. There's always challenges here with, HVAC units and heating units, and we've always handled that. But total investment into our current building, if you account for the rent over the last almost 6 years, so we're right at 5.5 years. We're at like $110,000 in rent invested, plus the other 40 or 50. So, we're $160,000, $170,000 into this building. And, we had the intent of buying it, and it switched hands. We had one landlord that we started with, switched to another guy. We tried to buy it then, but it's a long story. I'm not going to peel that onion back. They were trying to sell 2 buildings as a package. We didn't want to buy the other. So we got cut out of that deal. Then the new landlord, the third landlord, is taking it over. And, when they took it over, we said, hey, we want to buy this, or, hope that we could have kind of first right of refusal at the end of our lease, or if you ever decide that you want to sell it. And they seemed open to that. And in that time, the building has started to have a lot of problems. So, the HVAC unit on the roof went out last year. We paid $800. Luckily, it was just a fan motor, got that replaced. The furnace unit went out during the winter. I had to pay $300 or $400 to get that fixed. The AC unit in the back, which cools the shop, went out I guess that was like 2 months ago. Oh, man. See, not the greatest part of town. I don't know if you guys can hear those sirens or not, but anyway, the unit in the back went out. We had to pay like $300 for that, and now we're in this battle with the landlord. The landlord's claiming that they don't have the responsibility for placing the unit on the roof. It has gone out again. And so now, we've invested $150,000, $160,000 into a building that isn't ours, and the landlord is now refusing to make repairs that the contract firmly puts in their lap. But there is some like gray language that they're trying to leverage on their behalf. And that isn't on them. That's on us as the leasee. We should have made sure that language was reviewed by a lawyer ahead of time, so that even if the language didn't change, the landlord understood that language and we would communicate that up front before we ever got in. Now, here's what I will say. Previous landlord, we had the AC unit out back, had gone out, and he replaced that. No question. It went out. He said, yep, my building, I'm going to replace it. New landlord tries to look at the legal language and say it's not their responsibility. Now, again, I'm not mad at them or trying to call them out for being bad landlords. They're just interpreting the contract one way, and we're interpreting another, and our legal counsel is interpreting it another. And my point in this whole big story is to say, as a business owner, when you're getting into your first lease, it's exciting. And you're tempted to just, like we were, you want to just get in the building and start using it. And you don't pay attention to the things that are in the contract or have a lawyer review them. And the lawyer can go, well, just so you know, this is what this means. It's their responsibility. And so then we could have communicated that when we renewed the lease with the new landlord and said, hey, just so you know, we'll sign this, but you're responsible if something breaks according to this lease. Or if that language wasn't in there, we could have revised it. And so that's a lesson that I just want to share, because we work with a lot of business owners that are getting to a point in their business where they are going to be signing leases or renewing leases or looking for new buildings or moving into their first ever. And you just need to be cognizant and protect yourself. A lot of people are good. And our landlord, they're good people. But again, this is business, and they're trying to protect them. They don't want to spend $7,000 on a rooftop unit. Well, we don't either. It's their building. We've invested over $100,000 into this building. We don't believe it's our responsibility. But at the end of the day, what's the contract say?
Well, I think a lot of people just, when you're a new business, you're not used to doing business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it's like,
well, not just that you're a new business, because, these people, if you're buying a building, you've probably been around for a few years. But if you've never done a thing, you're not used to having to look that over, Yeah.
Yeah. It's a new thing. It's a new thing that you have to look at as it's business.
Right.
Because I mean, for me especially, and I think that's kind of what happened with the situation we're in now. It's like, well, we had a good relationship with the guy before. This relationship with this new landlord started off good. And it's like, okay, they're nice people. And just didn't think about any issues coming up.
Right. Like, we just didn't trust that they would do the right thing at the right time. And I think as a business owner, most business owners, not all, but I would hope the ones listening, you have the right intention, right? And I don't think they have the wrong. I don't think they're necessarily trying to like screw us over. I just think that they are trying. Maybe they are. Maybe they're hoping that we replace that, knowing our lease is up in June. Maybe that'll force us into having to renew the lease. Maybe they're not there. But I say all that to say, even if you trust people, and even if maybe they are trying to do the right thing, you have to make sure that you are protected.
Yeah.
And you need to, if you have the money to rent a building, then you need to make sure you put some money back to have a lawyer review a contract. It isn't going to cost you, a couple $100 to have that done. But that way you really know the terms, because it's not the fine print. This isn't in fine print. It's just the terminology is a little bit strange. And so anyway, I kind of wanted to share that. The good news is, we've been praying about this, and everything we do, we try to give back to God, and we're not perfect. But we found a building. We thought, oh, this is it. This is the answer right here. And we went and looked at the building. We were like, hey, we're going to try to work this out with our landlord. If it doesn't work out, we have this backup option. And that didn't work out. I haven't heard back from that landlord, just to give you guys
they didn't want us to do the
junket thing.
Truck thing. So
and just to give you guys some clarification, I am still technically the owner of Sargent Junket. However, we have partnered with Mattingly Junk Hauling. They're in Mount Washington, maybe 5 or 6 miles from us. They handle Sargent Junket. Brian, great dude. He has a really good knack for the junk removal business. He manages Sargent Junket, manages the team, all that. But, we still have Sargent Junket trucks that park here at our lot. And so one of the things is, when we move, we need to make sure that we, have a space for them, because he can't park them in his front yard, Long story short, this building we looked at was great. We thought we had found the answer. We thought God was kind of opening a door, and then now the realtor that showed us said, "Oh yeah, he won't have a problem with the trucks." And the next day, she was like, "Oh, he doesn't want the trucks there." And so, honestly, that kind of forced us to be a little bit more patient and to maybe look for a better option. And I don't know what's going to come to fruition as we continue on, but we found an even better building for about the same rate that we're paying now. It's closer to my house. It's 300 more square feet than this building. It's a former bank, which is cool. It's got a big bank vault in the middle of it.
Oh, yeah.
We could set the podcast up in. I don't know.
That's where I'm sleeping.
Just sleep in the vault, protected. It's in a better part of town, and then, my point is saying that, we're trusting God here, and he's going to see us through it. But if we had been wise and maybe had talked to some people that had gone through this before us, they would have advised us to, hey, check that contract out. Make sure your lease is good. It's good that you're getting a great rate, but you need to make sure you're covered. And if you aren't, then you have to pay a couple extra $100 per month to make sure that you're not going to have to spend $8,000 on an HVAC unit on a building that isn't yours. You should probably do that. And so, again, I know that not everybody listening is ready to buy a building. But at some point, hopefully in your business journey, you get there.
Yeah.
And just make sure that you're covered. Don't get so excited that, you can't see the forest for the trees. You make sure you're doing your due diligence and making sure that you're covered. So I don't know why we went down that rabbit hole, dude, but it's just been, it's been on my mind, man. It's just, Dolly just smacked her face on the table.
Will you just go lay down somewhere and quit clacking all over the building?
She's ready to go. It
sounds like she got high heels on.
It's a time of day, man. She knows. She's got that internal clock. She knows when it's time to hit the truck.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I think God's been good to us. We have the Dumpster Expo coming up. There was some data pulled. Mm-hmm. Josh Roman shared some data in the Dumpster 101 Facebook group yesterday. And
it's going to be crazy.
First of all, it's a blessing that we were ever able to attend that in the first place. That was kind of a God thing. Just to rehash that story. Do you remember what happened last year? Like how that came to be?
Not exactly.
So I had seen that, the event was coming up. And we didn't get invited to the Junk Removal Expo. And that was like bothering me. But, sorry, Dolly's trying to chew on the leg here. We didn't get invited to the Junk Removal Expo. And that was bothering me. But we were starting to get more clientele in the dumpster rental industry, so I was kind of letting it go. And then we made a good contact with Daniel Stanton, who runs the Helper Dumpster Rental YouTube channel. And Daniel said, hey, man, they're looking for another marketing agency to come down to Texas for the Lone Star Dumpster Showcase, which is now the Dumpster Expo. But anyway, he gave me Josh Roman's number. I called Josh, and Josh was like, yeah, dude, like y'all can come down. Didn't charge us anything. He was like, just come down, set up. And we did, and it was great for our business. I mean, we grew a ton beyond that event.
You got to make a presentation and everything.
Yeah, like he was like, yeah, you can come up, you can talk to the crowd, whatever. So got to do like really my first public speaking engagement inside of my own business, like to a crowd.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And then, we were up at 2 a.m. the night before using spatulas as fake mics.
Rehearsing?
Doing rehearsal, writing our speech. So that was a cool.
And sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
And making all the videos because we had set up.
Oh yeah,
that was the funnest 2 days of work I've ever had, dude.
Yeah, that was fun.
We had all those people sign up for the free website audits.
Yeah.
And then we had to do them all that night.
Yeah.
And then I had to figure out how to show the people their videos without having Wi-Fi at the
showcase.
At the thing, yeah.
We're in the middle of a field in Texas. Cool facility too.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, they have a Keystone Waste Solutions. They build dumpsters and they do a number of different things. They build cans, but they have a really cool facility. But that was fun, man. And this year we got invited back. And, got a vendor spot, and we are going to be going and showing off all things Spearcrest Digital. But some data dropped, and I think out of like 250 survey participants, the number one category that people are looking for help with is marketing. And then software, number two.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, everybody's looking for help with marketing. Mm-hmm. It's why we exist, obviously. Marketing is a huge struggle for all businesses. And I think that a lot of agencies out there they have great intent and they don't communicate well. And so like a lot of these people that probably said, I need help with marketing, have worked with a marketing agency in the past, but the marketing agency didn't set the expectations right. Mm-hmm. The business owners that are going there, they want to grow, right? Like the point of them going to Texas is they want to get value and learn things from industry experts. Mm-hmm. So they're going there with the intent of, I want to grow my business. Well, how do you grow your business? Well, a big piece of that puzzle is marketing. Now, there are a million things that go into marketing. Digital marketing is just one avenue, and we're going to hopefully fill that gap with the services that we offer. But we can't work with everybody. We got one client per service area. So there's going to be a number of people that we can't serve this year that we were able to serve at last year's expo.
Yeah.
But I say that to say you know, there's people that have worked with us that have left and found a marketing agency that was a better fit, and we have taken on clients that have worked with marketing agencies in the past, and we're a better fit. And I think it's in how we communicate and what specifically people are looking for. But every business, if you're a business owner, you don't have the time to go in and do the things that it takes to rank well organically. You can do some of it, but to really dominate a market, you're not built for that. You're built to run your business. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, then your business is going to struggle. And if you rank well online and you can't answer the phone because you're doing all this other stuff, that's not efficient, right? I mean, maybe at some point when you're doing multi-millions of dollars and you can hire someone and bring that in-house, fine. Most, 99.9% of service-based business owners are not set up for that. And so we can come in and fill the gap. But I think that's why. I think that's why that was category number one, because marketing, digital marketing, not marketing as a whole, but digital marketing specifically is something that is hard for owners to do. Not just the knowledge, because it's not super, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure it out, but it is extremely time consuming. I mean, we have a team of 6 people and we're working heavy, like we're in here, 5:30 every day. Dakota will, if he's got to leave early or whatever, he's emailing me at 7:00 at night most nights, still working, still getting things done.
Yeah.
And so it's a heavy lift even for us. And to put, if I were doing Sergeant Junkett's marketing and I was trying to run Sergeant Junkett, I would never be able to actually get that done properly.
Yeah.
So that's why. I think that's why that was the number one category. And it's a great thing for us to be able to go in and offer services and help people and fill the gap. But it's also another challenge. Like, we got to be ready for that. We have to prepare. The win is in the preparation, not necessarily in showing up down there and hopefully landing some clients. It's making sure that we're prepared, we know how to communicate, we're clear on what we're going to offer, and that we can actually drive in results for people. Because if we get down there and wing it, we're not going to be able to. We kind of winged it last year.
A little bit.
Because we didn't really know what to expect, and I think we did a fine job, but we've been setting up meetings and we're gonna go down ready to go this year.
Yeah.
And
I'm hyped.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a great event. If I know that we have a lot of dumpster rental companies that listen, and look, I know probably people listening to this right now have already turned it off that aren't in the dumpster rental industry or don't own a business, but that's fine. If you are in the dumpster rental industry and you're not going to come down, you're going to miss out, because it isn't just about us being there. It'd be great to meet you, but there's going to be a lot of value added. The keynote speaker, his Instagram tag is the muscle. He's incredible. I mean, that's a big keynote speaker to have. Then you're going to have all kind of industry leading experts. ICANNs will be there. These people that we see online constantly that we know are moving the needle and helping people. All of the big names are going to be there, and you're going to get access to that for not the ticket prices are not super expensive. Getting a plane ticket to Dallas is not that expensive, and you could literally invest $1,000 into your business, and you're going to get way more than that out of it if you come down. So
yeah.
Anyway, super excited.
Yeah, and there at least last year there was business owners at every level.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, there was guys that maybe weren't necessarily making enough money to afford to hire a digital marketing agency. And then there was guys in there making
millions of dollars.
Buku bucks.
We talked to a couple owners that had, that were doing
it was really cool.
So just to give you, I do have the data here that was shared. So the 16% of the 250 surveyed they have 1 to 5 dumpsters. So these are guys getting started.
Oh yeah, cool.
I mean, maybe they've been in business for a little while, but 1 to 5 dumpsters.
Is that from last year? Or
this is this year. So this is this year's attendees.
Oh, nice. So it'll be similar.
Yeah, and they've already sold out all the VIP. I talked to Josh. He's maybe thinking about setting up a second VIP night, and so this year's going to be a big event.
Oh yeah,
it's at a cowboy church too, inside of an arena, a rodeo arena.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be cool.
Oh yeah.
The highest number of attendees have between 6 and 15 dumpsters. I would say this is close to the majority of our clients. A lot of our clients have around 20, but 16 to 15 dumpsters. That'll be the highest majority of owners. Then the next biggest category is 16 to 50 dumpsters. So this is where a lot of our clients fall. 16 to 50 dumpsters, many of them have healthy businesses. 13% will have 50 plus dumpsters. So out of 250 attendees, you'll have 28 or 25 to 30 of them will have 50 plus dumpsters. So there'll be a lot of people that you can interact with that are at the level you're trying to get to, right?
Yeah.
And then 19% don't have any cans. So maybe they're junk removal business owners thinking about, adding in dumpsters, or maybe they're just trying to get into the dumpster rental industry. Roughly 20% of the audience. The people that are coming up and at 0% are typically people that are just thinking about getting into the industry.
You don't think it's guys that offer some sort of
they're not
equipment?
No, that doesn't include vendors.
Oh,
these are non-vendor. They did not send this survey out to vendors.
Okay.
So this is for people that are attendees only. But yeah, so again, you got guys that have nothing, that aren't even in the industry yet. You got guys that have 50 plus cans, and then you got everything in between, and then you've got most of the industry's leading vendors going to be there too. From dumpster manufacturers to truck upfitting to digital marketing to insurance. Toby will be there. We can mention Toby. He's a client, Wisdom Insurance.
Oh yeah.
So there'll be a wide array of kind of industry experts there. And man, it's going to be fun. And look, we're driving down. We're going to stop in Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
In the Golf Triangle of Arkansas, which I didn't know was a thing until we booked this trip. And we're going to play some golf
for research.
We want to see if it's as good as they say online. Yeah. I am interested to see what middle of Arkansas, central Arkansas is like in November.
You never spent much time there?
I've driven through many times.
Yeah.
Never.
Pretty much the same for me.
Yeah, I mean, Arkansas is kind of like Kentucky as far as I could tell.
Yeah.
Rural minus the Memphis area, which is kind of like Cincinnati. Northern Kentucky is northern Arkansas, and then you've got central Arkansas is Little Rock, which is kind of like Louisville is to Kentucky. So
I got stuck in Little Rock for a couple days when I was on the truck. I like Arkansas, man.
It's a
Sorry, this is a random rabbit trail.
It is. It's a beautiful middle of America state. And I will say, I didn't know, but apparently there's a lot of golf history in that particular area. There's that chapel too.
Oh yeah.
What's that called? Do you remember?
I don't. But we're gonna go.
We're gonna go check this chapel out. Yeah,
I can probably look it up.
It's like in the forest. But yeah, I know this is a bit of a kind of a random episode, man. I wanted to talk about some of the challenges, hopefully share some value there, and then talk about the Dumpster Rental Expo and kind of plug it. I think it's shaping up to be a big event. Sorry, did you find the name?
Oh, my bad. I said
no.
yeah.
No, you're good.
I was gonna let it go.
Oh, you can let it go. It's fine. Look, it doesn't matter. It's a cool chapel in Arkansas. Yeah. Google cool chapel in Arkansas, and I bet you find it.
I'm just uploading the picture to ChatGPT.
There you go. But look, I know this was kind of a random episode. We didn't have a ton of information. However, we did make the commitment to post an episode every Monday at 8 a.m. And so we're sticking to our commitment. I hope that you did get some value out of this. I hope if you are, looking at even a lot lease or a land lease to put your cans on, that you consider having your contract reviewed by a lawyer, because we went for nearly 6 years, had no problems. As soon as some problems start to arise, we find ourselves in this weird kind of legal gray area. I think we would be, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole too much. I think we're protected. However, it is still causing anxiety and worry. And now we got to do this planning because we aren't sure where we stand. And, it could get legal if we push too hard. So instead of putting yourself in that predicament, listen to somebody who is in it as we speak. Have your contracts reviewed. Protect yourself. Protect your business. And come to the Dumpster Expo in Ponder, Texas. November 6th is the VIP night, kind of setup day. November 7th and 8th is the event itself, which will be all day. You're close to Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to go to Fort Worth, down to the stockyards. We're going to have a good steak. Might try to watch a rodeo.
That's right. Gonna have some boots.
We got a client. We got a client staying with us this year, which is going to be cool.
Yeah.
So look, it's going to be a fun time and a value adding time. And for, I don't know where you're at in the country listening to this. I know we have people all over that listen to it, but again, for around $1,000, you can invest into your business and have a good time. So it's not like you're going to go down there and be bored and watching some guy kill you death by PowerPoint. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff to do.
Yeah.
So come check that out. We appreciate you guys tuning into the show. Again, I know this wasn't the most fun episode that we have ever had. However, I hope that you got a good lesson out of it, and hopefully we can help you save some heartache and headache in the future. Thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a review. A 5-star review would be great. I try not to beg too much, but it's like, dude, we've been stuck at 8 reviews. And so the reviews help us organically. The Spotify and Apple Podcasts will show the show to more people, given our reviews and feedback. So we would greatly appreciate that. Next Monday at 8 a.m., we have a really cool episode coming out with Blaine over at SE Dumpster Solutions in Lexington, Kentucky. He drove up. He runs a really cool operation. He has really cool insight into how to land more commercial contracts in the dumpster rental space. Former college baseball player, good golfer, just a plethora of knowledge in the dumpster rental industry. I think you guys will get a lot of value out of that.
Yeah,
so,
that was a cool conversation.
It was fun. So that'll be next Monday at 8 a.m. Be sure to tune into that. We appreciate you guys. We will see you on the next episode.